4 centuries of pulling metal out of the Andes, and the final constraint is still a liquid.
Always in the desert.
Stand at the edge of an electrowinning bath in the Atacama today. To force the copper out of a mountain of dead rock, the site manager has to keep a physical drip of sulfuric acid running continuously over the crushed ore. The clock on that mine is the percolation rate. If the liquid stops falling, the copper stays in the stone. That acid is a byproduct of refining sour crude, and this spring, the seaborne supply broke. The spot price for a ton of it leaving the U.S. Gulf went from $155 in February to $400 by May. But with grid electrification pushing the copper margin where it is, the manager does not halt the drip.
He does not.
He walks into the open market, pays the $400, and routes the vessel to Chile. Which means somebody else, standing in a completely different line on another continent, needing that exact same molecule to get a seed out of the ground, is suddenly looking at an empty hopper.
The hopper isn't just empty. The blending line is powered down.
I'll bet.
Look at Mosaic's fertilizer facility in Sorriso, Mato Grosso, where they just cut phosphate output.
This is real?
This summer. To mix 10 tons of fertilizer for the Brazilian planting season, the floor manager there physically requires 4 tons of sulfur, the same sulfur the miner's acid is made from.
Right.
He doesn't have it because he's in a blind auction against your Chilean mine manager, and he's holding a losing hand.
The auction is real.
Yeah?
The auction is real, but you are looking at the wrong state.
I knew that was coming.
The blending lines going dark are in Minas Gerais, not Mato Grosso.
Aha.
Araxa and Patrocinio are already idled.
Oh, the big ones.
Next month, they mothball the Uberaba plant.
Uberaba.
1 million tons of capacity.
1 million tons.
All this time working together, and you still can't let me finish a sentence.
No. Go.
1 million tons, switched off because a fertilizer desk can't clear the math of locking third-quarter sulfur at $705 a ton.
That's a losing bid.
Their chief executive, Bruce Bodine, is staring at a 30 million ton hole in global phosphate this year. The result on the ground is a 30% drop in Brazilian application rate.
No.
You say the soybean can't support the math. Walk that all the way down to the dirt. If a planter cuts his phosphate by 1/3 at the first rain, what exactly is the physical penalty to the root system? You've got copper evicting the crop. I want to know the yield.
You're right on Minas Gerais. Strike the Mato Grosso blender. With Uberaba going dark, my auction doesn't exist. The farmer doesn't get outbid at the local depot. The material simply isn't blended in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go slow here because it's unbelievable.
Take your time.
Down in the dirt, the penalty is sterility. The seed absorbs the first rain and the primary root drops, but the lateral roots don't branch. Without that mass, the plant can't nodulate. Phosphorus is the actual energy currency the root spends to feed the soil bacteria that fix its nitrogen. When you short the phosphate at planting, you're quietly suffocating the plant of nitrogen 2 months later.
That's right.
So the farmer gets a canopy that looks perfectly fine from the pickup truck. He thinks he got away with it. Then January hits, the pods start to fill, and the region gets a standard 10-day dry spell.
That's what seals it.
A healthy root system is pulling moisture from 3 feet down. His roots are trapped in the top 8 inches of dry dirt.
Ouch.
The plant aborts the pods to keep the stalk alive, and he loses 1/3 of his harvest before it ever matures.
1/3 is a remarkably clean fraction for a biological failure. Tell me if that number comes from
You're going to ask about this.
an agronomist's desk model or recorded harvest where we actually watched an empty hopper pull exactly that penalty from the combine.
It's a desk model.
Mm-hmm.
And the desk is dead wrong. The model assumes the farmer drops naked seed into unfertilized dirt and just accepts the sterility.
The models always do.
He doesn't.
Of course not.
He looks at a phosphate quote he can't stomach, looks at a local labor shortage that means he doesn't have the tractor drivers for multiple field passes anyway,
Right?
and he buys a completely different way out. Look at Boa Safra's quarter, reported 8 days ago.
I've read it.
Did you?
I've read it.
Revenue up 23%. Their chief, Marino Colpo, just reported the highest seed quality in the company's history.
I read that part.
The farmer isn't starving the root.
He's paying up for premium, pre-treated seeds that guarantee the strike rate without the bulk fertilizer. The eviction didn't kill the harvest, it killed the fertilizer blender. The Chilean miner takes the acid, the blending plant in Minas Gerais goes dark, and the Brazilian planter permanently moves his capital from the soil to the genetics lab.
You read Marino Copo's transcript from last week perfectly. Revenue up 23%, record backlog. The farmer is indeed buying the treated seed.
Yes.
But a biological treatment is a stimulant, not an element. It encourages the root to hunt for phosphorus that's already there.
Oh boy.
A soybean crop physically removes dozens of pounds of elemental phosphorus per acre from the dirt when it's harvested.
How many pounds?
You cannot replace 40 pounds of bulk rock with a microgram of seed coating.
Now that's true. Now that is true.
If the hopper was empty at planting, the mass isn't in the soil bank. He brought the premium seed, yes.
Why are you conceding?
He'll get a beautiful early root system. And when that root system finishes exhausting the residual phosphate from last year, the plant hits a wall and the yield still collapses. The eviction stands. You just move the death of the crop from the first rain to the second month.
Which is the exact worst moment it could possibly die, because for those first 60 days, that beautiful early root system pushes up a massive vegetative canopy.
Indeed.
That is perfectly visible from space.
Oh, the canopies are beautiful.
Every greenness satellite scanning Mato Grosso tells the algorithmic desks in Chicago that Brazil is printing a record crop. The funds short the board, the price of soybeans craters, so by the time that root hits your elemental wall and the plant aborts the pods, the farmer isn't just missing a third of his yield, he's selling the surviving two-thirds into a price collapse, dictated by his own leaves lying to the cameras.
A forged inventory, written entirely in chlorophyll. For 300 years, a man had to physically stack empty barrels on a wharf to fool the surveyor. Now, the seed commits the fraud for him.
Then pull the precedent. Name the last time a globally trusted instrument fed a flawless lie into a market for 60 days straight. No, I'm serious. I want to know who's trapped on the short side in Chicago the morning the combine actually rolls into the dirt, the pods are empty, and the physical reality finally snaps the proxy.
Okay, this is where I finally get to do my bit.
Please, this is your house.
August 1970.
Go.
The instrument is the USDA Midsummer Field Survey. For 60 days, the reports feeding into the Chicago Board of Trade describe what looks like a record corn canopy. The shorts pile in, betting on a massive glut. What the surveyor can't see from the pickup truck is
What?
a fungus called race tea. To save the labor cost of manually detasseling the stalks, the industry had planted the entire American corn belt with a single genetic trait. It made the crop universally vulnerable. But the fungus didn't drop the canopy.
The canopy was fine.
It just rotted the ear inside the husk.
No.
The proxy held perfectly until September. The combines rolled in, the leaves were green, and the ears were completely barren.
I love 1970. I can smell it, the scent of a paper survey. Who needs fiber optic cable when you've got an army of men in pickup trucks driving the corn belt with CB radios?
The glorious last stand of the CB radio.
A quarter of the national yield vanished.
I hate to poke holes in it.
You do not.
16%.
I said a quarter broadly.
710 million bushels, not a quarter.
Is that right?
And those leaves were not green. Race tea threw tan lesions across every stalk and leaf in the field. The surveyor didn't get fooled by a healthy canopy. He got beat by the clock. The fungus simply burned through the belt faster than a paper survey could get mailed to Washington. But look at what that does to your analogy. In 1970, the physical destruction moved faster than the proxy. Today, it moves slower. The algorithmic desk pulls a satellite image at the speed of light and shorts the board in milliseconds. But the root starvation in Brazil takes 2 full months to finally break the plant. Chicago thinks it's trading a record harvest, when it's really trading a temporary chemical high. They have absolutely no idea the elemental foundation of that crop was just bought by a Chilean copper mine.
16% and the lesions. You have the record. I stand correct.
Thank you.
But your reversal in the clock is exactly it. In 70, the male was too slow for the rod. Today, the light is too fast for the root. The energy transition didn't just outbid the food supply. It bought the dirt, left the leaves, and is letting the plant lie into the market while it stars.
Which means the copper market and the soybean market don't actually exist anymore. They are the exact same book. The site manager in Santiago bidding up the cathode and the algorithm in Chicago shorting the beans think they're playing two completely different games on two different continents.
Right.
They are not. They are sitting at the exact same table bidding on the exact same ton of acid. Every time you electrify a mile of grid, you are chemically dissolving the global harvest to pay for it. If those satellites show a flawless canopy over Mato Grosso in December, but the physical truck arrivals at the port of Santos collapse in late January, then the root hit the elemental wall. The proxy broke. So who's holding the bag when Chicago finally looks down?
When Chicago finally looks down, the exact same person who always holds it when an instrument breaks. The clerk who trusted the spyglass instead of the hold. Today, it's a desk manager in Chicago who built a machine to trade light and forgot that a plant is made of mass.
That's it. It's mass.
He sold 1 million bushels of beans he doesn't own at the absolute bottom because your flawless canopy
My canopy.
told him there was a glut. When the trucks fail to arrive at Santos, he's forced to cover those shorts in a physical market that is completely empty. He will pack up his desk thinking he was ruined by a Brazilian drought. He was ruined by a Chilean copper mine.
He was ruined by the drip. He built a desk to trade light, and he got completely liquidated by mass. The acid stripped the floor right out of his harvest from a desert 3,000 miles away. The cathode and the root are the exact same book now, and the energy grid just bought the only copy. That's the show. We'll see you next week.